How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Now, I had to delete my previous video on this subject for two reasons. The main one was the audio. I did not know the audio was defunct on the video. Must have pressed something wrong when I was, editing it. So sorry about that, but hopefully it's good in this one. I'll make sure to check it before, when it's being uploaded, to check the video to see if the audio is fine. But I do apologize about that, though. So what was the video previously about? Well, basically we talked about Detective Pikachu getting a little bit of a teaser trailer right now. Basically showing us tiny snippets of new stuff, and also we talked about a big old rumor that suggests that we will be getting two more Pokemon movies, one based on Pokemon Red and Blue in the future, made by Legendary. So I want to give my opinions on that. First of all, I'll give you my opinion on Detective Pikachu, specifically the movie, and also the little teaser trailer here, and then also we'll go over to the other stuff in a second here. But either way, let's start with Detective Pikachu here first, because I know that's what people are here mainly for. So if we kick off that, first of all, the teaser trailer is really short. Apparently, the real trailer, which was rumored to be dropping, is going to be dropping on the 28th. I thought it was on the 20th, but apparently today we only had this teaser trailer, which just shows us a, kind of recycled content that we've already seen in terms of, the trailer footage, which I think is good. I don't want them to show everything. That would actually be a little bit detrimental, but I'll turn out the volume a little bit here so you guys can still hear it. But I have to keep, talking over it due to copyright reasons, because YouTube, I'll get tons of issues, especially with music. I'll get tons of claims, but either way, continue through the trailer, and I think just about right after this clip, we should see, there you go. So you got Snubbull right there. When I first saw it, I thought it was like Gramble or whatever. I thought it was like Snubble's evolution, but it wasn't. And also, when I look at it, from this perspective, it looks like, and I mentioned this in my other video, it looks like the bulldog or a pit bull, whatever, from from Mickey Mouse, right? Oh, sorry, not Mickey Mouse. Is it? No, Tom and Jerry. Sorry, not Mickey Mouse. From Tom and Jerry. Why did I say Mickey Mouse? No, from Tom and Jerry. Looks like that freaking bulldog or whatever it is. So yeah, kind of interesting. But at least we get to see how it looks there. I mean, it does look a little bit, weird, because it is CG. Of course, it's in the police station here, with the character played by, what's his name again? God, I always forget this actor's name. Really famous actor, you guys know him. But he's in the police station here, and then we see a moonwalking Mr. Mime, which, I mean, if you didn't already have nightmares about this thing. Also, I'm not sure what is happening with my lighting, dude. Everything today with my recordings is just not working out well. I also think it's because my screen here is also, reflecting a lot of light. But either way, so we got a little moonwalking Mr. Mime. We got Pikachu, and we got Charizard, shooting out its flames once again. And that is about it for that. So, boom. And, of course, Pikachu farting. So, yeah. Apparently, the full trailer, though, the second trailer, will be dropping on the 28th, so I'll be ready on the 28th to give you a breakdown of the full trailer that drops then. Hopefully, they don't show too much, because I want this to also be a little bit of a surprise, but, with playing the games and knowing a bit of a general basis of the games, and what the game is about, it kind of worries me where they might go with it, if they're just going to copy it, and we already know how it's going to end up and all that. I mean, we know it's going to end happily ever after, right? We know that aspect of it, and we know the general idea of what's going on, but I want at least there to be some surprises and stuff, you know what I mean? They've shown a lot of Pokemon, Greninja, Charizard, and we already know we're going to see Pikachu, of course, we see Jigglypuff, Psyduck, tons, Emolga, we've seen Emolga, we've seen Charmander, we've seen so many Pokemon, right? And I want some, I mean, those are not all, I mean, there's 800 to go through, but those are a lot, though, that will be, maybe present in the movie, because I don't think they'll show all, even close to 100 maybe in the movie. Also, we've seen Bulbasaur as well, I think, and a Squirtle, I think. We might have seen a Squirtle. Either way, so, my opinion on this, I'm excited for the movie. I've already said this before. Somebody said in my comment section, they were really, on the previous video, really mad that I was talking about Star Wars, which is going to be a subject for later in this video, but I was talking about that, and they just got mad, saying I should make a channel about Star Wars if I want to complain about Star Wars, which wasn't the point I was trying to make. It was just an example, which I'll get to in a second, what I'm talking about. But as for the Detective Pikachu movie, if you want to hear my thoughts on it, I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to see where Detective Pikachu is going to go. It's a movie that I really want to see succeed. This is, whereas Let's Go was something I was not happy about. I was not happy where the direction was going. I was not happy about the general idea of it at all. I just didn't like the idea of Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. But with this movie, I love this. I'm actually genuinely excited. I was talking to some friends. I was like, dude, we gotta see this movie in theaters. Like, I never go to the movies, like, to the theaters. Like, I never do that. Never. Like, never, 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 ever, ever. Like, I've gone there 3 times in my life, right? And that was to watch Star Wars The Force Awakens and Star Wars The Last Jedi. The only 2 movies I've seen in cinema. Plus, also, I think one of the other ones was... I can't remember the third one, but my point is I don't go to the cinema a lot. But when I do, it's something I'm excited about. And this movie I'm excited about. I mean, this year I think I'm going to go to the cinema so many times because there's so many good movies that I'm really excited about watching. So this is a movie, personally, I'm really excited about. Do remember, though, 28th, according to the rumors, the guy who leaked that we're going to be getting the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. He actually said when the Detective Pikachu one's going to come. He's like an insider when it comes to movies and stuff. So, either way, we're done with that subject. That's that subject. Now, let's jump over to the more worrisome one. So, this was posted here on Pokemon Center. There's also another one from Go Nintendo. But we'll just, either one is fine. We can take a look at. So, the report is that 2 other live-action Pokemon movies are in development, including one based on the Pokemon video games. And I'm getting worried right now. So here's the website that kind of, like, this guy's kind of explained it basically here. But we can also find the Go Nintendo post. I'm just going to take a second and find that so that we know what the hell's going on. But basically, there's a rumor right now coming in from from kind of like the inside of the movie industry, an insider, who's saying that we may be getting 2 more movies, okay? This gets me worried. 2 more movies from Pokemon that are going to be made by Legendary. Now, as far as I understood, this movie that we're getting right now, Detective Pikachu, is also made by Legendary, as far as I understood. I thought it was Warner Brothers, but I don't know how this shit works. I don't keep track of what studios make what, usually, but I know Legendary has made some stuff that's a little bit iffy, but I'm trying to find the exact post here from Go Nintendo, because they kind of had a better explanation, give or take, of this whole thing. So I'm just trying to find it so I can show you guys specifically what I'm talking about, so it makes more sense. So here we go, found the post. So here it is. So Go Nintendo made the post saying, rumor Legendary working on 2 more Pokemon movies, and we jump over to the actual post, and you guys want to check out this post, I'll link it down below and all that, so don't worry about it. Either way, so, rumor, Legendary working on 2 more Pokemon movies, and this was posted on the 19th of January. So, the Detective Pikachu trailer seemed to go over extremely well. It did. It actually has 59 or 60 million views, which is, that is insane. I think that's the most viewed trailer when it's related, like, most viewed trailer ever out of any Pokemon product ever. I think it may be like the most viewed one ever. Actually, let me see. Pokemon trailer. If we search that up, it's got, okay, it's not 59, it's 54. Sorry. I think I was thinking of 49 when it was at 49 the last time I checked. But I mean, there's 2 versions of the trailer, right? There's the original one from Warner Brothers Pictures, but also one from Film Select Trailer, like one of those pages that posts a bunch of trailers, which has 11 million as well. I mean, if you look at like Pokemon trailers in general, like, they usually pull like 10, 11, 15, maybe 20 million views, but 54 million is a freaking insane amount for a Pokemon trailer. So it's the most viewed one when it comes to Pokemon in general, right? Whether it be a Pokemon movie, Pokemon game, whatever it may be, it's the most viewed one, and it's exciting. So, extremely well with fans and non-fans alike. Legendary has to be happy with the reception so far. This is the weird thing, right? Warner Brothers is the one that I'm looking at here that posted the actual trailer. So, is it a collaborative thing? I don't know. Either way, reception so far, and it's likely the film will see quite a big box office return, as you well know. When Hollywood has a hit on its hands, that means sequels are on the way, and this is what worries me. This is what worries me so much. If the latest rumors is to be believed, Legendary is already to not just double, but triple down on Detective Pikachu's impending success. Inside, sources claim that Legendary is already working on 2 follow-up films to Detective Pikachu, both of which take place in the same universe. That's gonna be weird. One film will focus on Mewtwo, which is something we've seen the Pokemon Company do with the animated film franchise, okay. And apparently there was a leak that said that Mewtwo's going to be the villain of the Detective Pikachu movie, which sounds interesting. Man, I should have really finished the Pokemon Detective Pikachu game on the 3DS. It was so linear, I just couldn't, like, take it because there was little to none gameplay. It was just kind of, super linear. Kind of like those books, like those book games, right? Where I don't know what you call them, God, I don't know what the word is for them, but like those animated book games where you just like read pages and make a few choices. one of those. Not the biggest fan of those. I've seen a few that are really nice, like a fan-made Pokemon one, but beyond that, I really not the biggest fan of those. And that's the same feeling I got from Detective Pikachu the game, which also kind of makes it well work for a movie, which is why I'm actually okay with Detective Pikachu. It works as a movie in a movie format, you know. It makes sense, so to say. Either way, what was I saying? So, now, inside sources claim the Legendary are working on a follow-up movie, Detective Pikachu, both which take place in the same universe. Mewtwo, which is something we've seen the Pokemon Company do exactly. We've got a Pokemon Mewtwo movie coming out this year, a remake of the original Pokemon, the first ever Pokemon movie, but also made in CG, so that's going to be interesting. Do with the same thing the Pokemon Company do with the animated film franchise. The second film would be an adaptation of Pokemon Red/Blue. What's the overall goal here? Apparently, Red Legendary is quite hungry to have their own cinematic universe to dabble in, just as Disney has with the Marvel brand. If Detective Pikachu goes over well, these other rumored projects do the same, we could be in line for multiple Pokemon movies for years to come. So let's start with the first thing, right? Legendary. Legendary is a studio that, they're an iffy studio, I'm gonna be honest. Legendary is a very iffy studio. They're really 50-50 when they make stuff, right? They wanted to make a franchise out of the Warcraft universe, right? Like World of Warcraft. You ever play World of Warcraft? They try to make a franchise out of that. And that didn't go well. It just didn't go out well. They chose a pretty weird spot in the story of Warcraft to start their journey. They could have chosen a much better one, which would have made so much more sense, but they didn't. And that kind of ruined the chances for that one. So it's, you know, not the best of situations. And Legendary, I mean, they have good films under their, you know, their belts, and it all really depends on the director and that sort of stuff, but this all depends on, you know, how it goes for Detective Pikachu. If Detective Pikachu, which it is gonna be a success, right? This could be like the $1 billion movie for Legendary. This could be the movie that makes them $1 billion in box office and puts, like, you know, Pokemon at, you know, the top 10 most highest grossing movies of all time. It could happen, right? This movie is going to be big. No matter how you twist it, it's going to be a big movie. I mean, I'm not sure about what the competition is going to be like in May when this movie's coming out, but it's going to be a big movie. No matter, it's going to make a splash, okay? It really will. But the question is it really smart to make a movie adaptation or 2 more movies, especially with the things they plan to do here? So look at what they're trying to say here. They want to make an adaptation of Pokemon Red and Blue. The second film would be an adaptation of Pokemon Red and Blue. Now, let me clear something. Pokemon games, there's a difference between the spin-off games, whichever one of the spin-off games you look at, and the mainline games. And also, there's a huge difference between Detective Pikachu the game versus Pokemon the normal mainline games. Now, what's the difference? Well, basically, Detective Pikachu is a fully made specific story. It's the same as, like, for example, something like The Last of Us. I mean, not in the same manner of being, like, equal quality, but rather the same principle, right? You play the journey of these specific characters, right? You play the journey of Detective Pikachu and his little friend, right? You play that journey. Or in The Last of Us, for example, you play the journey of, like, you know, the main characters. You play them, you play the main characters. You aren't yourself. You aren't really a specific character or anything. You're playing as these individuals. You're playing their journey, not your own journey. You're joining them in their journey. And that's the same thing with Detective Pikachu, which is why it's easier to transfer that into film. Now, if you don't know, movies and games they just don't match well. Over the past few years, every time a company tries to make a movie into a video game, it's a little bit better, but every time they do it vice versa, when a game tries to be made into a movie, it's very much hit or miss, but mostly miss, okay? It's mostly miss. They really just fling it the wrong freaking way. A very common thing to happen. And what this means, what this causes, this fact that they keep missing, is that it worries me. It worries me as somebody who loves Pokemon that they will misfire on the next, you know, the Pokemon Red and Blue movie and just make a shit show similar to something like the Dragon Ball movie, which, if you know what I'm talking about, the Dragon Ball movie, the live action one, is a disaster. Now, why am I okay with Detective Pikachu, you may ask? You're like, oh, but Detective Pikachu looks good. What if Detective Pikachu is like a 10 out of 10 movie, right? Or 9 out of 10, whatever. What if it's a great movie? Sure. But that's because Detective Pikachu is using the exact same plotline and being translated over from a game that already has kind of the style of a movie, right? And kind of the pace and just the general feeling of your average movie, right? It's got that same kind of thing going for it. It's a linear, specifically linear story. The difference with Pokemon, the mainline games like Red and Blue, specifically here, is that Red and Blue are journeys that have a silent protagonist. You don't have a specific journey. Sure, we all the same kind of like, oh, go get the gyms, defeat the gyms battles, do all that, get all the gym badges, defeat the Elite Four, blah, 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 right? Sure, the general journey is kind of the same, but we all have a different path we take, right? I maybe choose, a fire starter, you choose a grass starter, I choose, this guy chooses water starter. We choose different things, and we make our own choices along the way, My team will not look exactly like your team will be different, whether it be levels, whether it be which Pokemon you caught, which order you caught them in, which ones you kept, which ones you left in your PC. The journey is different, and the protagonist you play as, you attach your own mind to that character. Red is all of us. You, if you play through Red and Blue, you are Red. I am Red. We're all Red at the end of the day because we all play as that character, right? We play through essentially a journey of our own, right? We are that character. How are you going to translate Red as a character like that into a movie? Now, it has been done in one way, and that's the anime. But that's because it works in anime format. Pokemon already exists in anime format, and you can pull it off in episodes. But how are you going to pull off the large-ass journey that Red takes in a single movie? Now, maybe they want to do sequels, which, sure, I hate when, you can't just make a movie about a movie, or just make a series out of it. That's a little bit annoying. But how are you going to make that work, is my question. Right, it worked in the anime, because the style from anime to game, it works, right? Games and anime, they match well together. But movies and games don't match equally as well together. Live action, especially, just, with little creatures, is a little bit off. So I'm just wondering, will they be able to pull it off well or not? And also, point number 2, oversaturation. Now, this is why I brought up Star Wars in the last video, is because Star Wars is getting oversaturated with too much shit, right? I am not happy with where Star Wars is going. I haven't liked the latest movies. I regret paying to go to cinema for the, those 2 out of those 3 times just to watch, Star Wars, because the latest movies have just not been that good. And you've noticed the thing, and that is that Star Wars is making less and less money, and less people are interested in it, and more people are leaving the franchise. Why? Because they're doing the wrong things, and also they're making too much. There's too much Star Wars, or there was too much Star Wars. I think it's kind of slowed down now, but there was too much Star Wars, and it wasn't of the highest quality. It was just pushed out to make as much money as possible, without any thought behind the quality of it. And I'm worried that Pokemon's going to do the same. I was already disappointed with Let's Go, to a large margin. I think they could have done the game better. I was disappointed. But at the end of the day, if Detective Pikachu is good, and they can keep that same quality of Detective Pikachu in the other movies, I'm fine with it. But I'm really worried about the second movie. Doing a follow-up to Detective Pikachu 2, that's cool. But the Pokemon Red and Blue movie, that's the one I'm worried about. That's the one I'm really scared about how they're going to do it. So, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section down below, though. What do you think about it? What are your thoughts? Do you think it could work? I'm just worried, okay? I'm not angry about it. I'm really not. I'm just worried. Like, as a fan, I want it to be good. I really want it to be good. But it's so hard to translate something that doesn't have an inherent specific story. There is a story, but that story is something that we, individually go through in different manners. There is, of course, maybe instead of basing it on the games, they should maybe base it on the manga. Honestly, the manga would be probably a better thing to base it on, because you can loosely base it on the manga and then base it on the games and kind of mishmash those two, because the manga is actually pretty awesome. So that could probably be a better choice. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. My name is RuffledRowlit. If you guys did enjoy the videos, drop a like down below. Subscribe for future videos. And also check out my website, mynintendoplanet.com, which will be changing its name to rufflednews.com soon. Check that out if you want to see my post about this. I've made a little quick post about the actual trailer. It's linked there as well. But either way, thanks so much for watching. My name is RuffledRowlit. Have yourselves a great day. And bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.